What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and today we'll take a look at a game from last night which went into overtime between the Nets and the Pelicans, and how the Pelicans held off the playoff-bound Nets. Now, it's a tie game with less than 2 minutes left in regulation, and Tyreke Evans had 33 points in the game, so they get the ball to him, and they fall asleep on the Morrow down screen, a very simple play, and he hits a three. Williams doesn't follow Rivers, his man, and tries to execute a switch, but there's way too much complication and that just can't happen. The Nets come down the floor and execute a pick and roll with two shooters, Williams and Johnson, and for the Pelicans it'd probably be best to switch this, as a pop like this would kill you, but Johnson can't hit the shot. And Livingston gets a little too aggressive, and nice flopping by Evans, and he draws the foul and 2 free throws. The Pelicans foolishly allow middle penetration, and they almost execute a beautiful dish to Plumlee, but he can't handle the pass. Pierce takes a wild three, but Plumlee gets the rebound and dunks it. And this is a perfect example of why boxing out isn't just for defense, as Plumlee has the inside position and seals out Davis. On this pick and roll, when the Nets don't ice it, Davis does the right thing and slips to the rim, but Evans doesn't get it to him, and from there everything breaks down as there's no driving, and Aminu takes a terrible shot. Now the Nets are down 3 and 40 seconds left. They're going for a 2-for-1 situation, and they correctly push it. They're not going to call a play. They go into a little bit of a scramble mode, just try to drive, and the Pelicans do a great job at not allowing middle and forcing baseline, and they switch this pick and roll, and Aminu was a little late on the switch on the down screen, and that's all the time Pierce needs. Now the Pelicans can hold for the last shot, and they isolate Evans and put everyone else on the baseline, and a great double team to force Evans to get out of his hand. The Pelicans need to flash someone to the middle, they don't, and Morrow is forced to take an extremely tough shot. The Pelicans will here isolate Davis, and the Nets should really be doubling Davis every time he gets in the post. Good defense by Plumlee, but he gets fouled. Johnson tries to enter it into the post to Pierce, but nice fronting by Evans, and Johnson has to get a better angle. Instead he throws a careless pass and turns it over. Now both teams don't ice the pick and roll when they really should, which is forcing the ball handler baseline. What happens here is Pierce has to bump Davis on the roll, which gives up Morrow a wide open look. He just can't hit it. Again, when the man setting in the pick can shoot, if you don't switch it, it gives up the pick and pop, so the Pelicans here do switch it, and Pierce utilizes his size to get into the lane and make a tough shot. And this is why Shaun Livingston was picked in the top 5. His athleticism plus height allows him to be an excellent defender, and he contains Evans really nicely, and they force a tough shot. Now in transition, you'll notice no one really picks up Paul Pierce. There's a little confusion, and Pierce gets open, but he misses the shot. Now here Darren Williams plays a little bit of ice defense and forces the ball handler away from the screen, but gives Brian Roberts a little too much space, and he nails the 3. It really is a commodity to have Williams and Johnson who can pop out for the pick and roll, and if they switch the pick and roll, isolate in the post against a smaller guard. Here he does that, and seems to have a pretty good look at a jump hook, but instead passes it out. Then things go into scramble mode, good defense by the Pelicans, and Davis's lane forces the miss. Here the Nets do have 2 men back, but 3 are caught on the baseline, which allows the Pelicans to push it in transition. Evans does just that and hits Morrow, a good shooter, for a huge shot. Great awareness by the veteran Nets team, as they notice Livingston has a 6-inch advantage on the smaller Roberts, and they smartly go into the post with him, and Livingston goes to work and gets a layup. Now the Pelicans want to isolate Davis at the top against Plumlee for him to take it off the dribble, but there should be more motion and less stagnant offense to get it to him there. Even so, Plumlee is very mobile and athletic and holds his own, and Davis throws up a brick. And right here is a perfect example of why Anthony Davis is becoming a young stud. He has extreme athleticism and length gifts, and here he blocks Plumlee's shot and forces a jump ball. I'm not a fan of what the Pelicans do on offense at all, from what I've seen, as they just screen the ball, and here they wait way too long as the shot clock is going down. Evans is not aggressive at all off the pick and roll, and it forces chaos, and things get out of control. Aminu loses it, and they force an extremely tough shot. Here the Nets run a nice double pick and roll, and Williams does not see Plumlee when he is open on the roll. After that, Williams tries to penetrate, kicks it out to Johnson, but Johnson loses it out of bounds. The Pelicans isolate Evans in the post, and the Nets nicely double team, but when you double team, the other 3 members of the defense must go into a zone. On a zone, Darren Williams and Joe Johnson should not be standing right next to each other, and Williams is way late going out to cover Morrow. This causes Morrow, who just hit a 3 earlier, to get a wide open look, and he splashes it. Now, well-coached teams can go right into a set to run one of their shooters off a screen in this situation. Instead, they just kick it out to Pierce, who misses the Hail Mary that effectively ends the game. Now, I think it's clear the Nets have the potential to go far in the playoffs due to their talent and ability to create mismatches, but I also think it's clear that their defensive philosophy isn't well executed, and maybe there isn't such a great defensive philosophy implemented in the first place. So I think it'll be very interesting to see how they do against the Bulls or the Pacers. For the Pelicans, they have a bright future simply because of Anthony Davis, and he is a great defender, but I haven't been impressed with their defensive concepts. So I am a fan of Monty Williams, but he certainly has a lot to prove. Well, that's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and see you next time.